super saucy, finger licking good Korean popcorn chicken. It's gonna be amazing for your upcoming Super Bowl party, and you know that halftime show is gonna be great with Dr. Dre and Snoop Dogg. I'm so excited. Leftovers for this dish will be the least of your concerns. Let's get started. So today I'm using some bone-in, skin-on chicken thighs. If you can find, or if you can get your butcher to debone the chicken but leave the skin on, that'll be perfect. It'll save you the most amount of time. But if you can't find that, you can always debone it, and I'll show you how to debone a thigh right now. So you're going to start by taking a paper towel and just like getting any moisture out, and if you see any bits of feather on the skin, just pluck that off as well. Make sure you get it all nice and dry, and repeat the same with all the chicken thighs. Now we'll start deboning the actual thighs. It's great if you can find it skin on but deboned, but this is how you do it. So you want to find the point where the meat meets the actual bone and just start slicing away against the bone using a sharp paring knife. A paring knife which is flexible and thin like this is perfect and your best friend to do something like this. It's kind of hard to do this with a chef's knife. Just pick away against that bone, and once you can get underneath it, between the meat and the bone, just cut a gap over there. Now basically we will now have to cut it through from under the bone all the way across on the outside. Now in no ways is this the best way and the cleanest way to debone a chicken thigh, but just do your best and try to get as little meat to stick on the bone to waste, and just cut that bone out of that thigh. Eventually you'll have a skin on boneless thigh. And now you might still need to trim out any excess pieces of skin or fat, so just trim it as needed so you have the maximum ratio of chicken thigh meat to skin. Now you want to make sure that the skin is intact and that it remains on the meat. For Korean fried chicken, having that skin on along with the dark meat will add the maximum amount of flavor, juiciness, because it's dark meat, and then that skin will help add that extra level of crunch. Well, you can, if you want, remove that skin. With it, it's just to the next level. And now just with the same paring knife, a sharp knife, start cutting some cubes of the chicken thighs. Make sure to keep the skin intact, as I said earlier, because that's going to give you the best Korean fried chicken experience. Now once you're all done, you'll have a nice bowl full of these chicken boneless bites with the skin on, and we just want to start seasoning it and marinate this. So start with some garlic powder, then some ground ginger, then some onion powder, some large fresh cracks of black pepper, and then a generous seasoning of salt. And I'll just mix this all together. I don't want the skin to come apart, so I'm gonna mix this all by hand. Now season it with some rice wine vinegar. I'm gonna add 2 generous spoonfuls right in there, along with some water as well, equal parts vinegar to water. Then you're gonna mix this all again, and just be sure to be careful. You don't want to get that skin out. And then just wrap this up with saran wrap and set it in the fridge for it to marinate for about an hour or so. Now while that's marinating, we'll prepare our gong chow glaze for our Korean fried chicken. So we have some pasara or pureed tomatoes here. So I'm going to add it into a pan which is heating on medium heat, and then this is our gong chow paste, or our Korean hot pepper paste. It's sweet, it's spicy, and try to get the paste if you can. You can usually get it at a Korean store, and don't go for the gong chow or Korean hot pepper sauce instead. The paste will give you much more flexibility to work with. Now you can sweeten it a bit more by adding a generous amount of honey. That will help balance out the spiciness, and then next we'll cut through that with some saltiness with some soy sauce. Try to get the low sodium one so you can really control the amount of seasoning, because you can always add more salt but you can't remove it. And now just for that rich flavor, the sesame oil will really bring this all together. So add a general tablespoon of that, along with some freshly minced garlic. And now all you have to do is give this all a good mix, bring this together, and then just warm this sauce up. There's no simmering, there's no cooking. Just warm it up, and this is ready. So we'll just have to make sure that this stays warm when our boneless bites are ready. Okay, now let's get to the breading mix. So here I have some flour and some cornstarch. You can use potato starch if you can find that as well. And then add some salt, and then give this breading mix a good mix. Now here are the marinated chicken thigh bites. These are marinated for about 2 hours, and I took these out of the fridge about 30 minutes prior to make sure the insides don't remain raw once we fry them. Now take a piece at a time, then cover it really well with that breading mix. You want to make sure every little crevice is coated, because that's going to help give it that beautiful crispiness. So now do the same with all of the remaining ones, and you can kind of do it in bulk. Just add a bunch of it in that flour, and then just make sure you take the time to coat each and every one of them really well. Now while I continue to bread these boneless bites, let me tell you who the winners are for the 4 themes of the Live to Cook 2022 collaboration. Now just to remind you, there were 4 themes, 1 per week for the month of January, and you all got a chance to vote and watch these recipes and see what was the most enticing for you. So here are the winners for the different categories, and all the winners will be getting a signed copy of my book, which is coming really soon, Restaurants to Home, and I can't wait for that to be out and to set this out to you all. So I'm going to read off my list to make sure I don't mispronounce or misspell anything. So we have the first category, which was bucket list, and for that we have the Texas style chili and the jalapeno popper wontons by Cooking with Neighbors Jerry Allen. Then for pesky proteins, we have What is Jackfruit? Jackfruit curry by Jim's Kids Kitchen. So congratulations. Now for the Destinations Unseen category, we have a Pakistani keema cooked up by Cooking with Sherry. Congratulations. And now finally we have Heart on a Plate, and for that we have Khandesh by Cooking with the Cartoons. And I'm really glad that you all really stepped out of the comfort zone and you really just tried new things and challenged yourself. And what I want you to take out of it is that you tried new things, you were good at it. If you weren't, you'll get better at it, and this collaboration can still go on and on and on. Even though it's not part of the contest, you can still use the themes, you can still use the guide to just better yourself. Now here I'm heating up some peanut oil, my favorite cooking oil, to fry in my cast iron. And now once you breaded it, then you just start adding it into that oil. The oil temperature should be hovering right around 300 Fahrenheit, because we'll be doing a 2 fry method. First fry, we just want to get a light golden brown color and basically cook the chicken on the inside while giving the outside. Now after adding the chicken, the temperature did drop, but it is hovering close to 300, and as long as your chicken is getting that golden brown color that you can see right now, you should be good. Now these are ready to take out, so as soon as they look like this, light golden brown, some flakiness on the outside, take this all out, and then we'll prepare for the second stage of the fry. And I have these ready, taken out into a baking sheet, ready with the sauce that's warming. And because we're following this double fry technique, this is perfect if you want to serve fries with this, because that follows the exact same technique as well to get the best restaurant style fries at home. Now for these fries, I've already done the first stage of the fry at around 300 Fahrenheit, and you can find the full recipe on my website, and I'll link it down below as well. And now I've bumped the heat up to around 325 to 350 Fahrenheit, and then let these fries cook, become golden brown and crisp outside. So my tip to get both of them ready at the same time while both of them are hot and crispy is to start with the chicken, then start with the fry, then finish the fry after you've turned up the heat to around 320 to 325 Fahrenheit, and then once they're crispy, toss them in the oven, keep them warm, and then finish cooking the chicken. Just have a look at how rich golden brown they look, and honestly, In my experience, they were the best fries that I've made, and I guess I just had a lucky day today, or maybe the oil was extra happy to see me. And this is the color, this is the texture and the consistency that we've been looking for. You can eat this in so many forms. You can put it in all kinds of sauces or just have it plain by itself. I'm telling you, that marination is simple and delicious. And here they all are. And I'm telling you, that bowl, the stainless steel bowl, is perfect to hear the crispiness of that chicken and that crust. It's to die for. And all you have to do now is put that warmed up gong chow glaze onto our chicken, and because that crust is so good, even all that sauce will not do anything to that crispy crust. Just toss this up really well, make sure it's in every single crevice of that crispy chicken, and we are ready to plate. Load it up with all of those fries, and if you really feel generous, you can do some Korean style, put 10 fries as well to really ramp it up. I'm gonna garnish this with some white sesame seeds. Sesame seed is great to uplift any presentation, and then top it with a few sprigs of thinly sliced green onions. And here is the bowl that we've been waiting for. My first time having homemade Korean fried chicken, crispy, homemade, restaurant style fries. Think about what I just said. It's just deliciousness. This is a great bowl that you have to have. Super Bowl is coming, Dr. Dre is coming, Snoop Dogg is coming, and this bowl needs to be at your place. Just look at that glaze. Look at how juicy that looks. I'm gonna take a bite of this right now, and you'll see how moist it is inside. And that is why we choose to use dark meat, but feel free to substitute this with chicken breast if you want. And if you're following me on Instagram, you already knew that I was having these awesome fries with this Korean fried chicken for this upcoming video, and you got a sneak peek into today's content. So if you want some more behind the scenes, see me experiment on what's coming next, then be sure to stay tuned on Instagram. Subscribe to this channel if you live to cook, and if you want to bring restaurant quality dishes at home and make them with ease and show off to your friends, to yourself, and just learn these new techniques, then it'll be a fun journey for you. And if you haven't seen my recently posted buttermilk fried chicken recipe, then I'll link that over here. In fact, I'll just link the whole fries playlist so you can have some fun, and I'll see you guys again on the next one. Bye guys.